And once again, I swear to dogs, I don't even know why I even bother with this thing. Now look at this. That doesn't even make sense. And just in case you're wondering why sometimes I repeat myself at the beginning of a video, it's because of the fact that sometimes it will cut it off before you have a chance to say that. And sometimes it'll cut it off, and then as soon as it stops and then replays again, it'll fully say it. That's why it's just a good idea to go ahead and preempt yourself and repeat it for the sake of so that you people can know that's exactly what you said. Just to preempt it, not to try and necessarily repeat yourself, but it is just a way. And most of the time, you wouldn't even know unless it kind of starts over again, like where I did there, because I kind of had to. Anyway, I'll be right back so we don't get copyright flagged. So, I made a statement about this being on Sunday, right? Well, I've also been thinking about, I could just do it temporarily because I do intend to finish up doing Pokemon Fire Red. I wanted to go ahead and push this out, but I could also just save this for Saturday, Monday. I don't know. Because originally the schedule was on Tuesdays for this, right? Well, I will be posting a video as soon as possible, as soon as I possibly can, to do that, or a link that will lead you to a video that will lead you to another video. A full video to fully be able to shoot this. Because I have said and stated a long time ago that I have moved. Now, the reason for that was because the copyrights. It's insane the amount of copyrights you can get. Especially for a channel as low as me. And I'm not getting any support to stop that from happening. So, yep. Unfortunately, it's 'tis our fate to be copyright flagged. The moment we put on something like this, when you're posting to a website that has anything to do with copyrights, it's insane. It's also insane that you don't get enough support either for the amount of, what you're trying to do. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. For me, the support that I'm looking for the content that I'm uploading is the views. The subscriptions support it to be put out there so that it can be done for the right audience, as well as the likes and the views all coupled together. But just to know that I have a reason to upload. If I don't, and it doesn't count when there's 0 views on a video. I won't say that at every video. That's why you don't hear me saying it. Every other video, every so often I'll bring it up, because people still haven't gotten it yet. That's just not how it works. It doesn't work well. The support is you get 0 views on one video, and you get only 1 view on that one, and then another one after the one that gets 0 views gets that, or none of them get views whatsoever. That's not how it works. But the reason why as well is I want to get this completed underneath my belt. But I don't know. I may just do this. I mean, this game is not hard to get through. It's still it's not very long, but it is going to be long enough with the battles and stuff. I mean, Mystic Quest was kind of battled long enough as it was, but this is going to take a little bit longer than Mystic Quest. Because Mystic Quest in itself could be done within 12 to 21 episodes, depending on how many minutes you're willing to put into it. Whether you skip anything or not. I mean, if you skip anything on recording, then it could probably be done within 1 video. Even possibly 4. And I'm not looking to do all that. I want to be able to enjoy a game, and I want people to be able to see the game as it is intended. regardless of whether or not there's that. Anyway, I'll be right back and meet you somewhere. Now, in this cave here, which it will tell you, Mist Cave, right? If you miss any treasures, you can always come back. But you know, most of the chances are you're probably going to be, if you're just trying to get it done quickly enough, you don't want to come back. Unlike some games as well, you want to save the treasures for somewhere else you can store it. Anyway, I'll be right back. Alright, so we're here. And we're ready to go in here. This fight coming up is nothing, so you don't really need to be leveled up for it. So, yeah, you can actually leave if you want to. Anyway. The ring. It's glowing. I meant to look at that earlier, but it doesn't really matter, because the ring is just for one use only, is to do this. Even though it's weird that, you know, for whatever reason. So, you know, I'm just going to do this, and then I'm going to start up Final Fantasy V between here and next weekend. This will come out next weekend. Just get kind of caught up, maybe. I said that I would do that, just get caught up, but I also wanted to get, you know... What? This is it? This is why he sent us here? They've destroyed the entire village. Why would you make us do this?
No, Mommy! My mom's dragon died, and because of that, my mom passed away too, I mean.
What? I've heard of people with the power to summon monsters. Summoners, they are called. Then we are the ones responsible for killing her mother by killing the dragon.
You killed my mom's dragon?
We didn't know that would happen. So that was the king's wish, to annihilate every summoner in this village. That can't be. I'm afraid it's true. I'm also afraid we're going to have to get rid of the girl. What? You have to obey the king's orders. But she's just a child. You intended to provide the king? I refuse to continue any more slaughter in the king's name. I knew you said that, but don't worry, I'm on your side. You are? I love the king so much. But I can't disgrace the dragoons. So you'll join me? Yes, but we will need allies if we were to oppose the mightiest kingdom in the land. We have to do it for Rosa as well. Thank you, King. Save it. This isn't for your sake. This place is dangerous. We better get going. What about the girl? We can't leave her. We'll have to take her with us. It's alright. We won't hurt you. You're going to have to come with us, okay?
No, I hate you!
I remember that in the voice acting one version I seen that. Come on, we have to go now.
No, go away.
Wait.
I hate you. You killed my mom.
Yeah, so... Yeah, it's just... It doesn't really matter.
Go away.
Yeah, see that right there? Yeah. This is actually meant to happen. So you could actually do some damage, but it doesn't really matter anyway. And yeah, you can see that the village is still kind of there. But there's a reason for that. We'll get more into that later. I probably wind up most likely just going there in the other place when I get to it. Anyway. Yeah. She's safe, thank goodness. Kane. Oh, wait, wrong place. This isn't Star Trek. Kane. I have to get her out of here. Kane, I pray that you're alive. How would you pray for that? Anyway. So, yep. There it is again. And there's some new enemies right there. I think I'll just take them out with this. It's actually very important to go ahead and get as much as you can of white spells with, or, you know, with Rydia. Because, see, the thing about Rydia is that she can only learn so much. Here's some new ones here. Desert Shahagan. The reason why it was new wasn't the worms, it was the butterflies. They made it new. So we can always go over that in another episode. But anyway, so there's also more to this place that I guess we have another chance to get what we need for Rydia, but not that it matters right now, because it matters not. It really doesn't. There we go. And I believe it or not, I played this game with the cave was over there, but it's actually up here. So what you can do is do this early on, even though it matters not. I obtained a potion. I could have waited to get this, but I went ahead and got it anyway. Most likely some things you're not going to be using anyway, and some things you're going to be using. That's part of why they gave it up. I mean, because, you know, and plus a lot of things you'll never be able to buy. Old man, what do you think you're doing here? This cavern is swarming with monsters. Return to Capo, scoot! So, yeah, I'm not worried about fighting those. Not right now. Those were new creatures, but it doesn't really matter. So, the two back there. We just haven't fought them yet. And the reason why it won't show up on the bestiary, there's another one, Gigantog, anyway, is because you don't fight them. If you don't fight them, they don't come aboard. Plus, if you want to know more, even more than that, the only way to do so is if you use scan on them. I know. It's crazy because you don't get to use scan to them. Kaipo, Oasis of the Desert. I have to find her a place to rest. Welcome. Oh, she looks very pale. Is she alright? Get her to her bed quickly. She can rest here free of charge. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, are you alright? My name is Cecile. What's yours? I'm sorry about your mother. I understand if you can't forgive me, but you at least let me protect you. And of course, here comes some people coming in a minute. There's Cecile. I finally found you. Wait. I am here on the king's orders. All summers from Mist must be annihilated. Hand over the girl now. Never. And you shall fart. So yeah, as always, ooh, good, we got Keel up there. Take out the general. If you don't, then, you know, he'll just disappear. So you want to always take out the general. It may take you a little bit. I hate the fact that we don't actually have counterattack, but that's alright. I think the general's almost gone. I can't scan him though. I probably should at least attack one of them, but I'm not going to. Those guys are hurting just a little bit too much, but not as badly. So let's go ahead. I mean, all together it's kind of crippling up to quite a bit of damage, but it's a good thing that we're kind of strong for what we are. There it is. I took it out. Now we can take out these guys. These guys are nothing. Aw, come on. Now, that wasn't fair. Should have taken out that guy. Oh well.
Are you okay?
Yes. Don't worry about me. I won't let anyone hurt you.
Promise?
I promise.
I'm Lydia.
Lydia. Summoner Lydia has joined the party. Woohoo! So, yeah, before we go into the cavern over there, we have to do it. We have to level her up. All set. Not because we need her to level up, but because we need her to learn some spells. You know, it's crazy that even though that she can learn white spells, she was never referred to as quench your thirst with a capo punch. Anyway. Yeah, when you think about it, it was just something that... You know, I think I missed out on some treasures, but it's alright. Man, these people are everywhere. They don't stop, do they? Got an ether. Yeah, we're not going to bother going there. That one building actually has something to do with something we actually have to take care of, but we're not going to worry about it. Oh, by the way, child. And of course, there's Naming Way. I don't believe in using Naming Way. Although Naming Way actually will always be more useful when he was the bunny, because he gave you such extra items that you could find with him. You know, like bonuses, stuff like that. It was pretty cool. But otherwise, in this game, all he's used for is just if you ever decide you want to change your name. I don't never do that, so that's never going to happen. Oh no. Oh dear Lord. What have I done? Yeah, she's just gonna have to stay still. She has one summon right now for the entire game. I say 4 right now. And that's a clue. Yeah, I know, I realize I'm using something I probably shouldn't be using, but I don't care. I can always heal up. No big deal. There it is. She gained that. She also gained that. I'm not really worried about dark powers right now. With her, not as much as I am also getting her HP up, which is actually going to be more beneficial, because when we go into that cavern, it's not a good idea to be level 1. At least with Cecile, he's already pretty much high enough and has good enough equipment. So, good night. I like how he takes that one bed there, whereas opposed to in the main plot line, he took the other bed down there next to radio. Anyway. Not that it really matters, so, yeah, we're all set. Yeah, if you want items that are here, but I don't... See, when it's too early on in the game, unless you've got, like, a way to make lots of money, I know that we have a way to make money, but it's not enough to buy what we need. And potions alone ain't gonna need nothing. What we need is a tent, because we also will be using magic, because it comes in handy. Especially for enemies that are unaffected by weapons. Although there are specific weapons that we can use, but that's, like, different. Gain sight. Now, if I remember correctly, I think sight only opens up the map, which is also what bread does. So... I can't remember what sight does. Yeah, it opens mini-map. Okay, I wasn't for sure. So I was right. Anyway, not that it matters, because yeah, we could go ahead and do this, but I don't know if it matters that we can do it now, because from what I understand, you have to get it early on. But even though it has no relevancy to the character, the sick character right now, but it will later on. I don't know, I've never had such luck with it, so I don't know. Anyway, I think we'll go ahead and go heal up again. This might be the entire episode doing that. Because, but like I said, it's going to take a little bit longer than Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. I was not happy with it because of how many episodes it came out to be. Not that it really matters. What ultimately coupled into that was the idea that I wasn't able to get to where I need to do without having to start all over again and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't mind starting all over again with that game, but I like to complete it, not just have to stop in the middle of something when it crashes and then have to start all over again. Crazy as that seems, but that's like, to be fair with any game. So, even though I did kind of start all over with Final Fantasy X many a times because I didn't have a save file, but it was pretty good that I had to do it because I was able to find stuff that I couldn't do anywhere else. You can't go until you absolutely start it over. That makes no sense, but I didn't know about it. But, there's no other game that I know of that would be something that I could absolutely start over as many times as I want to and not be a problem. Because there was items I could have gotten and I didn't know it, but only during the beginning of the game somewhere. So there was also items that I'm not sure how you're supposed to get them, but there's it's just there. Like, okay. And if you miss out, no big deal. But there is a place that it is a big deal at. So, I don't know. I guess you have to wait until it comes available for whatever reason. I don't know. Which I never understood it. But it was during the time of... It's something that doesn't happen in every Final Fantasy. It has something to do with the basics of a bit of a challenge you don't have to do, but it's part of 100%ing the game. Not just getting the extra treasures you couldn't get when you had to go running through it, no. But, I'll just put it out there, dark summons. I've never been able to get to where I find dark summons. Matter of fact, not all games had that, believe it or not. There's also, not all games had the exact same elements either. Even though I like each and every Final Fantasy respectively, I have no such interest. I do not like nor care for the romantic baloney hole crap that's in them, no. Well, that's another one, it's new Sound Legs. So, but when it comes to, like I said, because romance don't make nothing to me. What makes it baloney hole crap is when characters have no business being together and yet they are. Like, really? No. I mean, like, literally, like, I can name a few characters, but I won't. I know of one guy who has someone else, and he still should be with that person and not with her, because it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that's my problem with it. I don't care. Care what anybody says. They don't belong together. There is no, I ship this and do that. No, I don't ship none of that. I don't ship it. I don't care. So we're going to run because we're low on HP. So right now, Rydia can't do anything because, although she probably could be using some spells, but I won't do it until we get to... Come on, dude! Let me go. Damn, 2 steps. That's annoying as hell. Well, like I say, I'd rather be frustrated at this than some other things anyway. I mean, there are things I'd rather not be frustrated at, but, I mean, I'd rather not be frustrated at all, but, it should be expected when it gets annoying. Anyway, all set. Anyway, I want to record for as long as I can. Can't promise anything, and I hate when Siri pops up like an idiot when nobody's talking about her. Sorry to be mean, but damn. Can't be serious about that crap. And not once did I mention your damn name. Now that I'm saying your name, you're not even wanting to pop up. I don't even need you anyway. Not that I say I never need her. It's just, come on, really? Vindictively stupid when it pops up. It's like it's eavesdropping. So, the thing that I have the thing to question about right now is something that I've never even heard of. There's actually an accessory you put on these gloves. Oh, because I don't get into sports. I don't know. Well, not only that, but Then there was commercials I never even saw. And then they were saying like, well, did you put it in the player 2 port? It didn't even start it off like that. When you generally go to a store, what do you say if there's a problem with it? You tell them, well, I just couldn't figure it out. That's exactly what she said. And then she turns around after you said, well, did you put it in the port? She said, yeah, I put it in player port 2. Well, you should have put it in port 1. That's just silly. I mean, generally, when you go to the store, a repair store or whatever tells you how to do things, you should... Why would you tell them that and that you couldn't figure it out, like you didn't know what was going on? Then there was this episode by Family Matters I never saw where apparently, I guess, in some weird twist of fate, that Steve Urkel wasn't like himself. He was a bit of a different Steve. He was actually, part of the family, the son, and Laura was the Steve Urkel. I know, that's crazy. I've never seen that episode. Ever. Of course, then again, there was probably episodes I missed out on. And in fact, I know I did. But I was one of them I didn't even know existed. And another thing, this guy actually got fired for... Well, he didn't do anything that really violated the rules. It even clearly shows it in the video. Well, actually, he did something he probably shouldn't have done. He took off the thing off the back of the license plate, and those 3 guys got arrested. Now, ain't that something? I don't really think it should be illegal to fire someone if you say, don't discuss pay on the job site. If you want to discuss it, you can do it when you're not here. I mean, because people are going to generally do it anyway, so you can't stop them. But I wouldn't want them to do it on public grounds. It's bad enough people might get jealous anyway and think that they should take advantage of it instead of trying to earn the raises. I mean, I can understand if, you ain't got a raise yet, but don't be just expecting one the moment you come in. I mean, I can understand some people having to do it, but pretty much anymore you're going to need to have to prove it. Because anybody can claim that and be like, yep, I got the day off. Go hang out and ditch work. Because I just don't like work. Nobody likes work. There's hope. This is one of the games, only ones that I know of you can actually mess around with spells and stuff, by the way. Yeah, pretty much you'd have to prove it. That's what I would say, if anything. Otherwise, how you going? Hey, stop hitting radio, please. Please. Thank you. Anyway. Yeah. Like I said, otherwise anybody can claim it. Well, see, I have a pregnant wife. I don't really have one. But if I, pretend like I have one, you think I'm going to get sickly? Probably. Because, again, anybody can exclaim it. So, how do you know if I'm lying or telling the truth? Because you're not there. I call up, say, hey, boss, I need an advance raise on my paycheck because, what you're giving me is not enough. But what he or she doesn't know is that I'm just going to go hang out and, ditch work for a while. Come on, stop that. Stop it. Okay, I need to mess with the settings here. This is a good time, I guess, but we're not going to do that. So, there we go. Battle speed should definitely be like this. Message speed should be up here. Window color. I don't hardly ever mess with this except when I absolutely have to. That looks a little bit better, I guess, but it's not as bright. And that just doesn't look good. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't know. No. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff. There's going to be enemies we're going to be missing out on for, like, the world and stuff until we get a better way to, what's the word I'm looking for? To find them. So, that's going to be something that, we'll come across eventually. So yeah, we'll find a lot of enemies, but there's extra enemies you won't be able to find because they're harder than hell to find. So, unlike the code, you can't miss out on it. And they just don't, like, automatically disappear later on in the game where you can never see them again. And we know most of them might come up rarely, randomly, but otherwise, no. Anyway. Now, once again, the reason why we're doing this is so that radio can learn as much as you can for white spells. Not trying to get too heavily uploaded, but we need to at least get her HP up. And I'm not worried about him. I'll never be worried about Mr. Why did that not shake? So we'll go ahead and save here. There we go. Data is saved. So yeah. Probably going to take us a couple episodes to get through this all. Because we're going to be doing some more battling. It's always the way games go when where you have to level up and everything. You're always going to have to battle. It might be annoying, but believe me, if you have a level up system, which is very good for any game anyway, you're just going to have to, because otherwise you don't stand a chance against them. Or, even getting better equipment and upgrading your weapons, whatever. I think all the above should be the thing. Like, you should be able to upgrade your weapon, not just to be able to change it out, but, level up your weapon, just kind of thing. I mean, if we could do that, probably. I mean, I never really thought about it before, but, Oh, and apparently, if you're interested in Dark Butler, there's a new season coming out in the year 2024. I'll be right back.